Now, this episode came in the second batch of Season 1 of VeggieTales in the House. I remember because when this show first appeared on Netflix, the first batch was From Puppies and Guppies to For the Honor of LarryBoy. So this episode marked the second half of Season 1. So what's the story? Well, this felt like running errands rather than watching a coherent story. It goes to this place and then it goes somewhere else, and did you get the bread and milk? Just kidding. A strange machine interrupts people's birthday parties by sucking all the cakes and presents to a hidden location. LarryBoy, of course, is on the case and vows to bring birthdays back to the town. But strangely enough, Junior tags along, well, just 'cause. Oh, and because he's concerned about his friend Laura because she got sucked away by the evil machine. What a coincidence. They learn that the machine links to Matato's bathroom layer, and they sneak in to rescue Laura. They both learn that Matato is going to use a machine called the De-Birthdayificator. Yeah, it's a weird name for an evil device, I know. In hopes of freezing people to where no one can have a birthday except him. So by controlling the vents to keep the temperature cold, it leads to Bob saving the day by blocking the vents with an inflatable boat. And that's about it. Now, there wasn't a whole lot going on in this episode, and even the story itself was odd. LarryBoy goes from doing his job all the way through to not actually saving the day in this one, seeing that was the case in, let's say, LarryBoy in the Fifth from Outer Space and LarryBoy in the Rumor Weed. In fact, there had to have been other ways to resolve this situation. Maybe LarryBoy could have gone back to Matato's lair to fight him. Or maybe he could have located the De-Birthdayificator and turned it off. I mean, I came up with those solutions in seconds, by the way. Long story short, the choices made here were hit and miss. Also, the decision to have Junior get involved in this story was pushing it. Like, we don't see him be a superhero in this one, but him just being there still drove me the wrong way. Because League of Incredible Vegetables had already committed the crime of making Junior the main hero in that movie, and because we learned that Junior was nothing but trouble in the first installments of the classic LarryBoy episodes, I was skeptical to, believe in this scenario, to think that he won't do anything in this one. It's like, don't do anything stupid, okay? There's also this completely pointless musical number where Matato sings about stealing birthdays and just basic villainy. Well, that's just it. I wouldn't even call it a song. It's just him rapping like he's doing a diss track. Yep, LarryBoy's face says it all. But don't worry, this is child's play compared to songs that he'll sing in the future. Oh yeah, there's a subplot of Bob being stuck inside the Larry Cave. First of all, this was what the Larry Cave got changed into. It's not as impressive as the one in LarryBoy and the Bad Apple. Anyway, Bob gets stuck in there, and every once in a while, the show cuts to him trying and failing to find a way out. But he does manage to get out of there with the inflatable boat. Well, that has to be seen to be believed, because that scene gets weirder and weirder at some point. And I almost got tongue-tied by that sentence. And this leads to the fact that there were some stupid moments in this episode. For example, when LarryBoy is unable to do anything about the cold air coming from the vents, a person calls out, "Who will save us?" or something like that, and LarryBoy gets upset. Well, I'm with him. Why the heck would you say that in front of a superhero that's clearly trying his best to solve the problem? Also, LarryBoy asks the people if they have anything that could block the vent, and somebody hands him a sandwich to do the job with. Okay, that was dumb. Another example is when LarryBoy gives a kid a banana peel that has the power to control time or something like that. I mean, sure, give the birthday boy a gift, but why that? I mean, what if that boy grew up to be a supervillain and takes advantage of this device? So giving that... Oh my gosh, that was pointless! But the most absurd thing to come out of this episode was Matato's reasoning behind stealing birthdays. Because no one celebrated his birthday growing up, so he decided to ruin it for everybody else, and that's why he's a villain. Wow. That can't be this guy's origin story. And this episode even bookends with LarryBoy leaving him a cake and presents because, yeah, no one celebrated his birthday and that was to make up for it. That scene was nice, but also worked against the story. This ending works against the story because you're basically rewarding somebody who tried to terrorize a town with freezing weather, who stole people's things, and who potentially kidnapped a person. So you're basically saying, well, you did all this, but we're cutting you some slack with some cake and presents. So feel free to do all this again. So was there anything good in this episode? Well, I laughed at this lady because of the voice acting. Clearly a man was voicing that character. And also the expressions that the show gives LarryBoy when he's investigating something or when he's reacting to what someone else is saying. Some of it was funny. Other than that, this episode wasn't much. So might as well move on to the next one.